Hello everyone, this is my guys playing Ravenous and Piercing Mileena in Mortal Kombat 10. I won't really be touching on Ethereal, as I don't feel that variation has as much potential as the others. So what is it that makes Mileena strong? Well, she has quite high damage, being able to do 35% to 40% mid-screen, most importantly, meterless, which allows her to save meter for one of her best tools, EX Roll. EX Roll is a fast, armoured overhead, and is also very useful as an escape from enemy rushdown. She also has her Psyblast, which is a fast projectile that can be useful for zoning, as well as a teleport that can be used to punish people who try to engage you in a fireball war. However, keep in mind, both her roll and teleport are very unsafe on block, meaning that if the opponent sees it coming, they can punish you for big damage. Mortal Kombat 10 is all about high-low mix-ups, since unlike other fighters, you don't need to pick a direction to block. With most of the cast being able to do 33% or more in one combo, you need only make your opponent guess wrong 2 or 3 times to take the round. Some of Mileena's tools for mixing up her opponent are her forward 3 overhead chain, her EX roll overhead, her 2-1 chain, and her forward 1-2 back 3 chain, which ends in a low. Let's start with her forward 3 overhead. Even though it suffers from a very slow startup, it leads into either a low or another high, forcing your opponent to guess high or low, even if they blocked the first hit. Keep in mind that if they block the first 2 hits of the overhead chain, you can simply not complete the chain to keep yourself safe. If they do block all 3 hits, you can risk an EX roll for yet another overhead to add another layer to your mix-up, or to armour through an attempted punish. Mileena's fastest low-hitting move that leads into a combo is her 2-1 chain. Use this when opponents are blocking high in anticipation of a jump in or overhead. This can be cancelled into her roll and lead to a 30% meterless combo. Another low hitting chain that acts much the same is her forward 1-2, back 3. It can be cancelled similarly to the previous chain, but if your opponent comes to expect this, you can always throw in an EX roll to catch them off guard. One final tool specific to Ravenous is the low pounce. You may find that your opponents constantly block low and then hit you out of the slow startup on your overhead. This is one of Mileena's main problems, but low pounce goes some way towards solving that problem. Whilst her high pounce is blockable, her low pounce acts as a true grab and therefore hits any crouch blocking opponents. Cancel into back 1, down 2 for 16% damage and hopefully making your opponent think twice about crouch blocking all the time. It's worth noting that this has much longer range than a regular grab, but it is unsafe against standing opponents. The trade-off for Piercing not having this tool is a stronger projectile game with her low Psyblast, better range on some of her normals, such as her back 1-2 chain, and slightly higher damage on some of her combo enders. Personally, I prefer the Ravenous variation, as I find it lends itself to combos more easily, and has more options to mix up your opponents with the low pounce. However, against opponents that are weak against zoning, Piercing is definitely a viable option. The last few things I want to touch upon before I get to combos are some of the other chains you'll see me using. The first is her back 1-2, 3+1 chain. This has great range, comes out fast and can be extended for more damage. It also heals for a small amount. This is a great poking tool and good for quickly punishing your opponent.
So much blood.
Next we have her forward 2-3 chain, which won't be used outside of combos. It's useful because it covers a great distance and can be cancelled into roll, however the execution for this can be extremely awkward, so practice this a lot. Finally we have her back 2-2 chain, which is used to close gaps in combos as she takes a large step forward whilst doing it. You can see it being used in this combo here. As far as meter usage is concerned, I would advise saving meter for breakers and EX rolls only. She doesn't get much out of her EX Psy or teleport, and her X-ray, whilst on overhead, is extremely telegraphed and does around the same damage as a 1 or even no bar combo. However, it can be useful for punishing enemy fireballs or escaping wake-up pressure. Let's have a look at some of Mileena's combos. To save recording these combos twice, for the piercing variation, replace any of the pounce finishers with her back 2-1, 2+4 combo, or if the opponent's too far away, her back 1-2, 1+3 combo. Don't forget to extend it to maximise damage. You'll notice that the majority of the combos end in the extended low pounce rather than the high pounce. The reason for this is that the extended high pounce pushes the opponent further away, making it harder to rush them down again on wake up. This is the highest damage I can get for one bar in the Ravenous variation. As you can see, it's not that much higher than the meterless combos, which is why I advise saving the meter for EX rolls and breakers. Sometimes you won't always be able to start combos off with a clean hit, like you've seen in the clips before. So here are some combos that come from moves you might throw out in a scramble. This last combo is quite tricky to pull off, especially online, and it will leave you quite unsafe if you mess it up. However, it's a good way to get the most out of your air to airs. Well, I'd like to thank you all for watching, hope this guide helped, and stay tuned for more Mortal Kombat X and Mileena content. See you around.